Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Doxy and we are back with another One Piece video because we are watching the top 10 most badass moments in One Piece by the always lovely and always talented VinnyTube. Now I know I said there'd be no more reacts, but apparently I'm a little bit stupid and I forgot I had one more on my list to do, so apologies for my stupidity, but we move. Luckily it's a One Piece video, luckily everyone here loves One Piece, and there's a million moments in One Piece that are really cool and really badass, so I'm very curious to see what goes where in a top 10 list, bearing in mind there's like a million moments to choose from, so that's what we're going to do today. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm sure I will too, because I haven't made a One Piece video in a while, so this is very fun to me. If you do enjoy it, as always, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, all the stuff I always say to you, and hit the bell to see more stuff I make going forward. We love VinnyTube in these parts. He's always very, very good and has very, very interesting opinions. So let's sit down and see exactly what he puts where. Right, Vinny, let's see what you got this time. I've only just realised this is volume 2, so I actually missed the first video, but it doesn't matter, man. It's still One Piece. It's still going to be cool. I see Luffy, I see Usopp, I'm happy already.
Hey there, anime fans. If you're here, chances are that you've already watched my video of the top 10 badass moments in One Piece.
I have not, I was just talking about this, but it's cool. Don't worry about it.
Because it's time for Volume 2. Why? Well, why not? One Piece
Why not?
has such brilliant moments of courage, spunk, attitude, and general badassery.
Which is why I don't know how you're going to make a top 10 list.
In this video, you're going to find both one-on-one encounters and one versus many fights,
interesting,
and moments of quiet strength where battles are won without raising.
Jinbe.
There are moments where the hero
We love
doesn't win
Jinbe
for
in
a
these
change,
parts.
and where the villain shows why he's the top boss. Naturally, there are spoilers ahead.
Of course, but I've seen it all now, so I don't care. I loved this fight, by the way. Loved this fight against Lucci. Like, you didn't really know what was going to happen. It was very, like, back and forth.
Luffy finishing off Rob Lucci,
but it was so cool.
Battle that almost didn't go the Straw Hat Captain's way.
I was just saying the same thing.
The between the pirate and the CP9 agent takes place at the end of the Ennie's lobby arc.
Brilliant arc. I enjoyed this arc a lot.
That served to cement the deep bond between the Straw Hats. Lucci has the upper hand against Luffy for most of the battle. At one moment, it seems Luffy's out for the count and Robin's chance at happiness is all but dashed. But Usopp's strong words of encouragement push Luffy to tap into.
Yeah, the one time Usopp actually helped something. Amazing, right?
Just enough to get the job done, and it reminds us yet again of Luffy's tenacity and his aversion to giving up against a stronger opponent.
KO. God, Luffy's so cool. What's this? Oh, Mr. Prince. I had to think about that for a second. I was genuinely confused.
This next moment on our list is all style and panache as Sanji,
it's Sanji, of course he's going to be stylish.
Makes a timely entrance at Crocodile's base to save his crewmates. Luffy and gang are in all kinds of trouble, locked up in a sea stone cage in a croc-infested room that's flooding fast. The key to the cage lies in the stomach of one very snappy Banana Wani. Using his guile and cunning, Sanji tricks Crocodile into leaving his base.
This is literally one of my favourite arcs. Probably top 3. That Alabasta was so good.
Sanji's Mr. Prince moniker, well, surely you would have caught on by now. It's a clever bit of foreshadowing by the mangaka Eiichiro Oda, a not so subtle hint to the revelation many arcs later that Sanji's actually a prince of the Vinsmoke family.
Mr. Vinsmoke himself. Such a good show.
Luffy challenging Big Mom a second time.
Ooh, Cake Island. I liked Cake Island, but it weren't my favourite. Went on a bit too long.
Before they meet in person, the first two interactions between the upstart and the Yonko are telephonic. During their first exchange at the end of the Fishman Island arc, Luffy, fresh off a big win, tells Big Mom on the Den Den Mushi that he's not only eaten all her candy, but that he plans to kick her ass all over the new world.
That's just Luffy though, isn't it? He just wants to fight everyone and eat their food. That's just him.
Imprisoned on Whole Cake Island and unable to rescue Sanji, Luffy's in a desperate situation. Yet he shows his captor no fear. here. What's more, he treats her with disdain. Naturally, this infuriates Big Mom to no end, but that's exactly what Luffy wants. This time, his declaration of war conveys not the boast of a kid riding high on a win, but the conviction of a man who knows what he wants and won't let anything or anybody get in his way, even if it's the most powerful woman in the world.
Can I just say, because I know a lot of people are going to try and come at me for the whole Cake Island went on a bit too long, but let me explain myself. I love the arc. I think Cake Island is a phenomenal arc. I think the storyline is incredible. I think the whole concept of Sanji and Pudding getting married and it's a bit weird and not as it seems is very, very good. My only issue is because a lot of Cake Island is about, obviously, cake and weddings and food and all that kind of stuff. I got a little bit irritated hearing Big Mum shout the word cakey for like 50 episodes. Nothing against her. I think she's a very cool villain. I like the whole fact that her and Luffy's rivalry relationship kind of bleeds into Wano a little bit and then it brings Kaido into it. I like the whole concept of that. I just wish I didn't have to listen to like 70 episodes of Big Mum shouting the word cakey and then going, Mama, Mama! It just got a little bit annoying for me personally. I know a lot of people like her. That's cool. I like her too, but I just think a little bit too long, irritated me a little bit. Probably could have had more of Wano instead, but hey, whatever. Let's get back to the video. And you do win Sanji back, my friend, and you do beat Big Mum. Well, technically Law and Eustace Kid do, but shh, we can say you did it. It's cool, man, it's cool. Is that Bellamy? How did I know that from one frame? I have no idea, but meh. I like Bellamy, but he is a bit of a douchebag, just a fraction of a douchebag.
Skypiea, the Straw Hats arrive in Jaya. There they run into Bellamy the hyena, a rabble-rousing rookie.
And also massive piece of crap.
Bellamy's a rather unlikable character. He bullies the weak. He's arrogant and he's full of himself too. He runs with a nasty crew. He taunts and humiliates Luffy and Zoro for no good reason. But what really puts him at odds with Luffy
doesn't believe in the Sky City.
Believe in dreams amongst those who do. To him,
even though he's an idiot because it does
and
exist.
its city of gold exists is a fool.
Well, he's a fool then, isn't he?
Bellamy, he also seriously underestimates Luffy, taking him for a weakling and his unwillingness to fight as a sign of cowardice.
And then gets beaten up like a
Luffy.
piece of cheese.
It's always satisfying to see a bully get what he deserves, isn't it?
What's this? Whiskey Peak? Question mark? Yes, it is Whiskey Peak. Okay. It's the bounty hunters and the before Crocodile, I think, right?
The shonen fandom loves a superhero who can single-handedly fight an entire army.
Definitely.
Zoro happens to be
badass moment, Zoro.
But he's not lost in wondering about the swordsman of the Straw Hat Pirates can be an extremely capable first mate to his captain and crew.
Oh, he's an incredible first mate. He just has to fight everyone. That's just what he does.
Kuma, which made our first list of badass moments. But even before that, Zoro showed us this side of his character in Whiskey Peak when he single-handedly defeated 100 bounty hunters.
Absolutely nuts.
A few of Crocodile's top officers and saved his sleeping crewmates from their evil designs. His sword skills are enough to confuse his opponents into thinking he's the real captain of the crew. Now that he treats the fight not as a life and death situation but as an opportunity to test out his newly acquired swords.
And what swords they are. Oh, the swords are cool. I love Zoro's swords. Is that Kizaru? Or Borsalino, whatever you want to call him, but Kizaru. Mr. Speedy Boy. Bonk. He's a bit of an arsehole too, but whatever. You gotta be a little bit if you're part of the marine side of things.
The Sabo arc makes an important turning point in the Straw Hats journey.
Brooke,
it's where Luffy famously punches a celestial dragon, another moment that made it to our first list. Another
That's just a cool moment, like,
significant
no one punches a celestial dragon.
To the Supernovas, the 11 top rookie pirates perceived as the next big threat to the world government. Their arrival in Sabo at the same time and Luffy's antics at the slave auction caused such a stir that it puts them on a direct collision course with the Marines, their army of pacifistas, and Admiral Kizaru. Kizaru. However, as brash and fearless as the rookies are, they soon realize they're
He's
no
a
match
different
for the
kettle of fish.
slow-speaking, lightning
Yeah.
fast Admiral. Kizaru easily defeats Hawkins, Drake, Apu, and Uruj, while the Straw Hats escape his wrath only with Rayleigh's timely help. Kizaru may not be
Rayleigh.
antagonistic
We
like
love
Kaido or
Rayleigh.
Aokiji,
We need more
but makes
Rayleigh in
for a
One Piece.
fascinating and often unpredictable character.
He's very, like, enigmatic, but I'd like to know more about him, but I don't need him in my life. Dressrosa. This went on
Next
way
up is
too
Sabo
long.
revealing his special technique.
Way too long. Lovely arc, but could have been half the size. But very cool.
Taken
Very,
for dead
very
after
cool,
he drowned
Sabo.
as a child, Luffy's sworn brother returns during the Corrida Coliseum tournament in the Dressrosa arc. Taking Luffy's place in the fight, he goes up against such big-name opponents as Diamante and Burgess, disarming both of them easily with his unique Dragon Claw Fist martial arts, while showing the same.
I'm glad that
irreverent
Sabo
and
got
fun-loving fighting
Ace's
style
fruit.
as his
Like,
brash
it's
younger
very
brother.
deserved
It's his
for him.
display of
Yeah, there
dragon's
we
breath
go.
That's truly awe-inspiring.
There was no
Revealing
one
his
better
clenched
to have that
fists with
fruit.
haki and punching them into the ground, Sabo sends a shockwave so great
Boom.
that he completely destroys the arena, sending his opponents and the audience
That's
floundering.
cold.
It
He is
indeed
cold.
a worthy exhibition of power for the second in command of the Revolutionary Army and the man chosen to inherit Fire Fist Ace's Devil Fruit powers.
Deservedly so, my friend. Jinbe. God, I love Jinbe.
And
Nerves
3,
of
Jinbe returns
steel.
Big Mom's sake cup. This is a quiet moment.
Take
of
your damn
courage
cup
that's as
back.
powerful as
Get
the
out my
flashiest
face.
Showdown. With her unpredictable
Love him.
temperament and uncontrollable hunger pangs, Big Mom's one of the most terrifying forces in One Piece. Imagine standing up to her at a time when her best laid plans are falling apart and she's ready to lose it. Jinbe not only dares to do just that, but gets away with it too. As Luffy and gang gatecrash the grand wedding on Whole Cake Island, Jinbe once again states his intention to leave Big Mom's crew and join the Straw Hats. The furious Yonko intends to make him pay with his life.
Yeah,
but
he
shockingly
don't
fails to
care.
do so because the fish
You
man
can't
shows
do it to
absolutely
him.
no fear of her and her powers. Now this is an incredibly powerful scene, made all the better with the drama and the dialogue. It just goes to show that there are few characters as loyal and strong as the gentle Jinbe.
I was so locked in during this scene. I was like, this man has got balls of steel. He is like the coolest character. He's one of my favorite characters in all of One Piece. I love Jinbe. Fearless fish boy. Ah, Kaido. I watched this
In the runner-up
very
spot, we
recently,
have
actually.
Kaido one-shotting Luffy in their very first encounter in the Wano
He
arc.
slaps him away like a fly. Off your pop, man. I love you, Luffy, but this was a
Now, we've
dumb
always
fight
known
for
that
you.
Luffy doesn't think much about picking a fight with a bigger, stronger, meaner opponent.
Even if
done
he's
it
gonna
before,
lose.
and he does it as soon as he lands in the land of the samurai, where he's supposed to be keeping a low profile. Now, while Luffy does lend a few lucky hits on the punch-drunk Yonko by going all out, we know he's horribly out of his league. There's just no way he can defeat the man who can't be killed even by himself, right?
Yet.
So it's really no surprise
Not
when
yet.
Kaido sobers up just enough to knock Luffy out with one devastating smack of his Black Thunder club. The captain of the Straw Hats is out for the count despite being in his armament haki enhanced gear 4th.
I guess you gotta go up a gear then, didn't you?
Dangerous Kaido is. With the one
Maybe
story
that'll
still
work.
unfolding its mysteries, we can't help but wonder if Luffy's actually up to the task of bringing down the invincible Yonko.
What's number 1 though? Because that was number 2, right? So I'm very curious what number 1's gonna be. Like, the Kaido one is the one that I would imagine would be number 1 because it's the most like iconic, and it's obviously recency bias because it was the most recent one. Like, I'm genuinely racking my brain here and I cannot for the life of me think of what I would even put at number 1 above the Kaido one-shotting Luffy thing, unless it's Luffy beating Kaido, because that's pretty badass too, but I imagine that was in part 1, so I really just don't have an idea. I also realised that I don't actually have to ask this question because I can just press play and see what number 1 is. So apparently I'm still a little bit dumb. Good. What is this?
And that brings
gear
us
2?
to number 1. And taking the top spot is the
Oh,
post-time skip monster trio
okay.
turning the lethal
This is
pacifistas
pretty
into
badass, I
heavy
can't
metal
lie.
Trash.
I'm agreeing with his list so far. Would I say this is more badass?
Since
I
their
don't
forced
know.
separation at the hands of Bartholomew Kuma 2 years ago, the Straw Hats have been on their own, training and
Getting
powering up
wild
so they
in
can
Usopp's
reunite
case.
one day and resume their journey. A quiet reunion's out of the question, at least for Luffy, Zoro and Sanji. When the monster trio meet again, it's naturally with the Marines and the pacifistas hot on their heels. The weaponized cyborgs had given the Straw Hats endless trouble 2 years ago.
That was cold
but
though,
this
that
time,
little dodge.
they're more prepared
So
for them.
cool.
This scene may not have the gravitas of a serious battle. It is in fact comical in tone, with Luffy lugging around a giant
With a fake
backpack filled
moustache.
with food, yet the display of their newfound strength and growth in abilities still makes for a very special moment. It's the monster trio we've loved and missed. After all, only stronger and better than before.
Quite dramatically better though, I would say. Like, they went away and they like learned how to fight. Not that they couldn't fight already, but they walked away and they learned, like, they went ham. Like, and I think that's why this is number one, because as much as it hasn't got the gravity of the Kaido fight or the Big Mum stuff and whatever, it's the fact that they'd been away for 2 years and everyone's brain went, okay, but what did you do in those 2 years? Did you learn something? How have you improved? Obviously, by looking at Usopp, you knew there was some sort of improvement because he was built like the Rock, but you finally got to see what everyone could do. And do you know what? Yeah, I will agree that's probably the most badass one of the list they put here. Not as iconic, but just very intriguing to watch. And I remember watching it, I remember being gripped to my seat, being like, good lord, these people they've gone away and they've trained, they've learned, and they've grown in more ways than one. But we're not going to talk about Nami today. But you know what? I do actually agree with this list. I think the order was really good. I think it was very succinct, straight to the point. And like I said before, I tend to agree with AnyTube's opinions, and this video is no different. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. I apologise once again that this is another reaction video. I genuinely promise you this is the last one on my list. I'm just a bit dumb and I forgot about it. But the new content is coming along very nicely. It's taken a lot of work, a lot of research and a lot of detail, but I want it to be perfect for you guys, and it's coming very soon, so watch this space. But this is all I've got for you today, so thank you so much for giving me a little piece of your day. I've been Doxy, and I'll see you real soon. See you later, guys. Bye.